so they're getting it 2 times, so they can see it's across curricular. But I do try to connect usually more skills lessons with cross curricular, how they're going to see it in other classes in real life. But I need to do that more with vocab as well.
So let's talk about your lesson in general. There was obviously some high points, and then there's a couple areas that obviously we can work on. What do you see as a teacher? What do you see as your strong suits within your class? What do you see as being successful most days?
Them reading books. Some kids have never finished a book, or they've never really read, and so seeing them finish a book and be able to tell me about the book, but at the same time answering higher order questions, so I know they have a deep understanding of the book and what the message of the book was, is always a big success for our class, because the more they read, the better they're going to become, which they're going to be able to get through the Iowa assessment quicker and understand it better. But and this class as a whole, because it works if it's done right. And
tell me about that. It works. What evidence would you have that would say that it works?
Our Iowa assessment scores when you get them back. Also our BRIs, we test in the fall and then winter and spring. And usually their BRI from fall to spring shows growth of their fluency when they read, and also their comprehension of questions that we ask them at the end. So they usually are showing growth on those, which is neat to see, because when they first read it, it's very not very good.
Well, what percentage of students would show growth?
Last year we had, I believe, I want to say 60-70% of our kids show growth from getting 5 or more right on the Iowa assessment. So they had to get above 50% on the comprehension part of the BRI.
Which makes them proficient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good. Would you say that is across the building and across the district, that same success? Would there be data to suggest that?
Mm-hmm. Yep, because when we get together with the other 2 high schools, we compare our BRIs, BRI information and data that we have. We compare our Iowa assessments, and we also collaborate with, if kids aren't understanding inferencing, what are you doing to teach inferencing? And it's showing growth over all 3 high schools. That's working.
Okay. What other strong suits do you see happening here besides the growth? And you could show evidence of the growth on the Iowa assessments and the BRI. The number of books being read by students?
Yeah, the number of books. Like one kid has read 17 books already. Yeah, he's read a lot of pages. But a lot of them are challenging themselves. Some of them are picking bigger books than they normally would pick the smaller books, as they did last year as a freshman, because I have their data from last year. And them just becoming better readers, and they become more confident with themselves, and they're more willing to talk about their book and share about their book when they become a better reader, become more confident.
Okay. I also thought that you have a good relationship with your students. They obviously like being here. They like, which is a hard class to teach reluctant readers as sophomores, trying to teach them how to become better readers. But yet it was obvious that you have a good relationship with them. You keep the class moving and flowing at all times. It's not a sit and get. It's not a lecture. There's not a lot of direct instruction except for the vocabulary. Tell me about the importance of those relationships.
That's a big key. What I found with kids, especially at our school, is that a lot of them don't trust you. They won't trust you unless they can get to know you and they know that you're going to be there for them. And so that's one of the big things, is developing that relationship with them. And that's why I ask them, what did they do this weekend? And so I'm constantly can have that conversation with them and we can relate, oh, I saw that same movie, or just for me to get to see them outside of the classroom. And that's why it's a big, important thing for me to go to outside activities that they're involved in, so they can see me in a different light than the classroom, and then they know they can count on me, and they know that I'm learning just as much as they're learning, and so we're both in this together to become better, and they know that. And I'm very honest with them. I tell them when I was in high school I probably would have never been caught with a book, but that's because I didn't know there was good books out there, and so they know that. The big thing with our class, I think, like I've said before, is just trust. They have to be able to trust you, and when they trust you, they respect you, then you're going to get the best out of them.
So our next steps, obviously you're doing a lot of great things, and I know you're on a number of different committees district-wide and at your school to build culture and climate, as well as to address student achievement and so on. So you're doing an awful lot of great things. I think our next step then would be to meet again to talk about some of those areas that we talked about, the questioning techniques. And obviously I can share this information with you, but let's build a plan of how we can incorporate more questioning into your lessons or across curricular areas so it ties in with the other things they're learning in other courses. But besides that, thanks for all you do for our school and our district, and it's very evident that the students are learning here. But,
We hope.
and again, the assessments are they speak for themselves, whether they be formative assessments or whether they be the Iowa assessments. It's obvious that there's growth happening in this classroom. So thank you for all you do.
Yeah, thank you.